Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, August 30th, 2023, and it is time for another Facebook Live. We are making this beautiful Christmas card tonight with the Timeless Arrangements bundle. Well, we're actually just using the dies from the Timeless Arrangements. But let me, while y'all are getting on here, let me get this video shared to my group in case somebody is looking for it there. So let me get my laptop over here going. So I copied this card from a card that I saw when I was at Backstage last weekend. They had boards that you could put your swaps on, and so you could just take a little Velcro piece and put your swap up on the board, and then the rest of us can go take pictures of them all. And I just thought this was just beautiful. And so I took a picture of it, and I wanted to show it. I wanted to show it to you tonight. So I don't have the one I posted today with this set, but we did one in a class using this set that was more spring-like and you know, the way it was originally meant to be. Let me just pull out, sorry, I should have grabbed this. Let me pull out my catalog so you can kind of see some other ideas with it. Well, everybody is getting signed on or finding us. So like I said, this is Timeless Arrangements. All right, let me get this shared and then I can show you. Hey, Betty. So this is the stamp set that goes with it. We actually are not using anything from the stamp set because I wanted to make this Christmas card. So I had to find another sentiment. But these are all the fun dies, and you'll see how they go together so beautifully. Makes it so easy to make fancy cards like that with no problem. But I did take the sentiment. This is a sneak peek of a new stamp set that will be available next week, September 6th, out of the new holiday. I can just show you the cover. If you're one of my customers, you should have gotten one of these in the mail. If you did not, let me know and I'll get one in the mail to you. But next week, I think it's Wednesday is the 6th. So this is a stamp set. I think it has, yes, it has a punch that goes with it that's just like a label punch. So it's a bundle in the new catalog. But I use the Christmas sentiment. So let me show you. This is in the annual catalog, and so like this one they did lots of different, they did some where they stamped and colored and die cut, and then just some of the die cuts by themselves. There they just did some there behind the strip there. So it's really a fun set. So let's get started. Like I said, I saw this on the swap board at Backstage in Las Vegas, where I was last weekend. And so I took a picture of it and I wanted to recreate it. So let's do that now. We are going to stamp first. And this die is also in that die set, in the bundle that comes with this, the dies that come with this, because the elements fit perfectly behind it. We're using Cherry Cobbler, and this is why I want to stamp first. This is a very rich red, and so it does take it just a little bit longer to dry than some of your other colors. All right, let's see if we can do this without being right over it. There we go. Carefully set that aside. Give it just a minute to dry while we do. We have some other things that we can put together. We've got some of our other pieces here. So I have Very Vanilla, and this is Cherry Cobbler. We don't need this anymore. And I embossed this with a Notes, I think it's called Merry Notes embossing folder. It's right here, let me grab it. Yes, Merry Melody. Merry Melody embossing folder. I have not tried to play it or have my son play it to see what it actually plays. So I don't know what music it actually plays, but I'm sure it's something. All right, when it's embossed, I like to use my green glue. It just gets in those little crevices better. Oh, and I forgot to say, if this is your first time, I do put all the measurements on my blog when I'm done with the video. So if you want to go recreate this card or something similar, then all the measurements will be on my blog. And then also, next week, somebody will win this card I'm making tonight. So last week, we made this fun fold with a softly sketched. And so I've drawn this, who won this, and I'll tell you that at the end. Okay. So a little trick you can do with your ribbon is, I think it wants to go this way. Take one piece and wrap it around the layer that you want to put it on. And you can use tear and tape, or I happen to have just some scotch tape here. Either one will work. Nobody's going to see it on the back, so. And this will make your ribbon go a little bit farther if you do it this way. And then I'll go ahead and put this on my, so I'm using Very Vanilla. It just seemed like a warmer, richer color for this Christmas card. I think that was what the swap was done with. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture. All right, and now we can put this on our card base. And I like having a little bit, and this was the way the person that made the swap, and I didn't pull the card off to see who had done it, so I can't give them credit. But I like having a little bit different, not just even mats every time. So this one is a real narrow mat of that cherry cobbler. All right, now, I'm gonna set this aside. We're not gonna put our other piece on quite yet because I wanna get the focal point on there first. So let's bring back our sentiment and all our little pieces. So this is, I forgot what it's called. More Dazzle 6x6 specialty paper. It is dazzling. It's in the annual catalog. And then this is Garden Green and Cherry Cobbler. And so I just did two of each. All right, and it looked like the order they did them in was the green first. Now, what I love about this is you have this bar, and that's where you put your adhesive. I like to use my liquid adhesive, my green glue on this. So just put some green glue on there, and then, let's get this over, hopefully you can see. And then you just set this so that it's on top of that. And then I like to just turn it around so that it's always up. Let's get our other garden green piece on. And they've done such a good job of the way they did all of these that they fit nicely together. So now let's do our cherry cobbler. And you can see this has a nice leaf coming off the left side here. So just kind of line that up. Just hold it for a minute until that glue grabs. Turn it around. Yeah. Oops. right, and then our dazzling paper. And I just use this green glue on it too. And see how it kind of just fits right in between those other ones. And then kind of off the end, the opposite end. And our last one. So the longest part of this is actually, whoops, I didn't hold that one long enough. Let's hold that a little bit longer. Is doing all the die cutting. It's not hard to put together. There we go. Now it seems to be stuck. And our last piece. We'll hold that one a little bit longer again. All right, we're done with our liquid glue. We're ready to bring our card base back in. Turn this beautiful thing upside down. And I did 3 dimensionals in the middle of it. Whoops, let's put it on right side up. And set this over our ribbon. Is that not just the most beautiful? When I saw it on the board, I was like, oh, that's just, and I never had thought about making a Christmas one. You could make a winter one with like blues and silvers. So now I'm just taking this other shorter piece of ribbon and just tying it around that. So I only adhered it to the back, so all of this is loose on the front. So I can tie this around it, and I just tie it once. Whoops. Once, like that, and that's it. And then get it so it's turned the way you want. And trim your ends. And that is it. Is that not just so beautiful? I know, Betty, it's so pretty. Yes, all these leaves, and like I said, the way they did the dies just makes them layer together beautifully. And we used, let me pull the dies back out. We used 3. So we used these 3. There's this one also. And then there's some other just little extras. So if you wanted to stick some little extra pieces in amongst them, you could. But they just spaced them all so beautifully, so they just go together like that. All right, somebody is going to win this next week, this beautiful Christmas card. You'll have a head start on your Christmas cards. All right, a couple of things just to remind you before I tell you who won last week's. Kits are on sale through tomorrow. So tomorrow is the last day to get one of our kits on sale. So be sure and go out to my website and order if you want one of those kits. And then I have a class coming up next week, next Thursday, which is, I think, the 7th. Wait, I have my calendar right here. Yes, the 7th. That will be a card class, and we'll be using all new products from the holiday catalog. So you won't want to miss that. The deadline to sign up will be Tuesday, the 5th, so I can get everything prepared. All right, this card from last week was won by Nancy, so I will get that card to her. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful Christmas card, and I will see you next week. We'll probably be playing, we'll definitely be playing with holiday catalog stuff next week. All right, join me next week. Thank you. Bye.